It's a semi-final showdown to see who will take on the Manly Sea Eagles in the preliminary final. There are no changes to the side that was named early in the week. The Brisbane Broncos have Jared Beale as their fullback, Darren Lockyer and Peter Wallace is the halves combination. Darren Lockyer, of course, playing his final game at Suncorp Stadium. The coach is Anthony Griffin. There are a couple of changes for the St George Illawarra Dragons. Nathan Thiem goes out of the 17. Mitch Rain once again will be the starting hooker. Trent Merrin comes into the forward pack. Dean Young goes back to the bench and the coach is Wayne Bennett. It is time on in the second semi-final. Matt Jacken gets us underway. The kickoff will go down to Lockyer and it's Ben Hannant who brings it out. Stopped there by Mitch Rain. Trent Merrin in 17 in the starting side for the Dragons in a reshuffle. Wayne Bennett moving Dean Young back to the bench. And the Broncos will play it at their 20. Here's Parker, who's been tremendous throughout 2011. Now Maguire. What a season he's had. A breakout season. If there was a Queensland team being picked tonight, he would be in it. No question, such as his former kick from inside the 40. Goes down to Morris, who brings it back out for the Dragons. A safety first. No fuss set from the Broncos to get this one underway. As Boyd flips it off for Nightingale, who works it up towards the Dragons' 40. They've won just 4 of their last 14 games. You can break their season into 2 sections. The first half, in which they're almost impregnable. In the second half, things really turn sour about the midpoint as Wayman is taken sideways. But a strong tackle. Glenn was there and so was Reid. Here is Merrin. Not much doing as they take it away from the sideline position. And they'll kick it here from just inside Broncos territory. Ray feeds it back for Jamie Soward, who chips one towards the corner. Waiting it well over the head of Jared Beale, who looks up and charges back at them. He stopped there again, and a good tackle by Rain, who leads the chase. Here's Copley.
Yeah, the kicking game's going to be so important from Jamie Soward tonight to dominate field position for the Dragons. And one area of the Dragons' game they must improve is their go forward. Last week, only one forward gained over 100 metres, and that was Ben Crate. So a big night for Merrin, Wayman, and also Dan Hunt.
They're back towards their 40 again from a sideline, though. They take it away from there. Through Ben Hannant, met there by Wayman, and also Rain, who's notched up a handful of tackles already. Last play for Lockyer to kick. Down the short side, he'll hook it away from Boyd, who, with his speed, tracks it down and gets to it on the full. He shows it, comes towards Hodges, his Queensland Origin teammate, and they'll play it just outside the 30 to begin this set of 6. Good defence from the Dragons in their opening couple of sets. He has limited the metres by the Broncos in those first 2 possessions, and now Dan Hunt works it back up towards the halfway line. An anxious-looking Wayne Bennett, who has yet to taste final success here at Suncorp Stadium. It's hard to imagine Wayne Bennett is there a hoodoo, because he's never won an NRL's finals game after losing 6 with the Broncos and 1 in his previous trip here with the Dragons. That is remarkable.
It's amazing. The great man hasn't won a finals game here.
Here's Soward going high to the air to put some pressure on Copley. Nightingale making a contest of it. In fact, it might have bounced off his back.
Well, he's claiming he was interfered with, Dale Copley. But they were testing him in the air. Jason Nightingale was getting through. And I think he was interfered with. It should have been a penalty there to the Brisbane Broncos.
A little bit unlucky there after there were some controversial decisions in the semi-final between the Tigers and the Warriors. The Warriors being the rough end of the stick there, but the result went their way. Here is Maguire. He works it up. He's made almost 400 metres running in his last 2 games. Playing a lot of minutes as well as a starting front rower these days is Lockyer. One kick from the left-hand side, this one from back on the right-hand side, and Nightingale brings it straight back out to be stopped there by Wallace and also McCulloch. Now Boyd skipping away from dummy half.
He just directs the team so well, Darren Lockyer. He gets him into field position so he can kick the football. As you mentioned, Warren, kicked on the left side of the ruck, then the right side of the ruck, trying to make it as difficult as he can for the back three for the Dragons. As Hunt carries the ball forward.
And Ben Teo was launching himself at the front rower, trying to make a big impact. Didn't quite get him squarely. Now Soward goes to the line, wrapped up there by Wallace. He tried to skip towards the outside last play. And Gaznia feeded back for Hornby, who will try and kick it towards the corner. But he picked out Jared Beale. We must have watched a lot of Carmichael Hunt as he was coming through the lower grades in the junior ranks of the Broncos, because he brings it back to the defensive line like Carmichael Hunt used to do.
He's fearless. He's improved out of sight. Beale, he gets the football on the full and just charges back into them.
As McCulloch finds Lockyer. Send it back on the inside here for Teo. He's playing game 13, an injury-filled season for him, like this man, Justin Hodges, who, as ever, skips away from the first tackler. And he'll play it about 45 away from the Dragons' line. No scoring chance for either team as yet through the first 5.5 minutes. Some pressure here on Darius Boyd, but he got some good blocking there, and the Dragons, well, they really stretch the friendship as far as the blocking is concerned, and they try to find line with the referees. But
that had to be a penalty. That had to be a penalty. He was trying to get there and contest the football, yeah. And Hornby just wouldn't allow it. What's that? That's a penalty for your life.
They work hard at it, and there is Hornby. Does it as well as anybody, and there's an example of it right there. We'll wait and see if the referees take note of that, and perhaps it goes the other way next time around. Hunt plays it, it goes to Soward, through the hands to Beau Scott. Not much happening for them on this right-hand side until Soward linked up with Gaznia. He skipped away from one tackle, wrapped up there by Jack Reed and also Wallace. They'll have one last play here from 30 metres out. Soward will shift it on through Hornby. It goes to Boyd. He puts a kick in towards the corner. It'll be too big. And the Broncos will bring it back out to restart things at their 20.
Well, they handled that well, the Brisbane Broncos. The Dragons looking to shift the ball, on last play. One thing the Dragons ball players need to do, they need to engage the defenders. They play too far away from the line, which allows the defence to just slide. They non-commit in defence and just slide away. And that's been one of the reasons why the Dragons' attacking game has failed them.
Here's a penalty. Maguire held down too long on this occasion by Scott and also Gaznia.
Well, penalties are so important. We saw that last night in the Warriors-Tigers game. When you have a flow of possession, it can really hurt the opposition. And the Broncos get their first attacking opportunity.
And here is Alex Glenn, who has been in try-scoring form in recent times for the Broncos. And now another penalty. Beau Scott, the transgressor once again.
Chet, stay there. Chet, stay there. Yep. There's the mark.
Back-to-back penalties at the Dragons on their heels. And here is Corey Parker. Picked up in an awkward-looking tackle for a moment there. Mirren over the top, Wayman underneath. He almost wishboned him, but he came back down safely. Now McCulloch gives it to Hannant. He's only 5 metres out from the Dragons' line. 8.5 gone in this one. The Broncos looking to open the scoring. And Andrew McCulloch. Well, if he had a choice, he'd take that one back and perhaps pass it to Darren Lockyer.
Well, he did that last week and got a result out of it, Andrew McCulloch. He's a confident player. He's trying to take a lot of responsibility away from Darren Lockyer and Peter Wallace and become another attacking threat. But I think you're right. It was early in the tackle count. Lockyer wanted the football. I think he needed to get the football.
There was a real chance to make the Dragons do some work in defence. Use up a little bit of gas, and in the end, with the back-to-back penalties, they barely defended what would have been a regulation set of 6. Now Gray picked off on a lovely tackle by Maguire. at the 30 of the Broncos. Soward will chip it up in the end. Nightingale is over there chasing through, a long way from his regular position, and Jared Beale bringing the ball back at speed and flying through the air beautifully on that occasion.
Well, he just attacks the football. A lot of teams, when the football goes in the air, they're prepared to let it bounce. But by the look of things, Jared Beale is not one of those players. He's full of confidence at the moment, the young man.
Well, it's a big ramp, but that was Billy Slater-like, the way he flew above the pack to bring it down, and you can pay no fullback a bigger compliment. Now Parker brings it back within 5 of the halfway line. McCulloch gives it off to Wallace, who just drives it through the line this time, tries to skid one, and behind Nightingale, who made a bit of a meal of it. Now he falls over, now he's in trouble, but he gets to ground quickly enough. They had him struggling for a moment there. He realised the urgency of the situation. Boyd grabbed there by Wallace, and it might have been above the shoulders. It certainly looked that way watching it live, and Darius Boyd will give the video referee a chance to take a look at this one.
Well, he was getting off his line. Peter Wallace and Andrew McCulloch. Let's see here, Boyd.
Jason.
Yeah, he cops him. Cops him around the chin. Oh, that angle. There didn't look to be too much in that one. Didn't look to be too much in that one.
Perhaps the upper arm, if anything. Certainly wasn't a forearm, and this is going to be placed on report. The referees and the video referees, who of course advise the on-field officials as to anybody off a replay who needs to be placed on report. They've been rather conservative with those calls during the finals, and
I don't think you'll have too much to worry about.
You wouldn't imagine so. Here's Scott playing it. The Dragons have absorbed a bit of pressure in this opening 10. And still, we are deadlocked between the Broncos and the Dragons in this second semi-final. Craig working it up to the halfway line. We'll play it here for Rain, and what a season he's had, Mitch Rain. Getting a chance again tonight. Injury to Cameron King in the World Club Challenge. And the chance when he was in the regular season. And now Gasnier, a ball back on the inside for Soward, who was grabbed from behind by Alex Glenn. He was losing the ball in the process of trying to catch it anyway.
That was great scramble defence from the Brisbane Broncos. They continued to close the space from the inside. If they do not chase from the inside, in particular Alex Glenn, he doesn't shut down Jamie Soward. You can see Gasnier attracting a couple, and Nightingale was back on the inside, but Glenn continued to drift across, and that was excellent defence by the back rower. It's how you react when your line's broken, and they do it so well, the Brisbane Broncos.
Nightingale really driving in low around the ribs of Jack Reed there, and put quite a shot on him. A ball to Lockyer, who has support on the outside. Hodges cuts back to the inside, sees half a chance, gives it to McCulloch. Wallace out the back, picked up by McCulloch, and this will be the last. The Broncos surging, 15 metres out from the Dragons line. Lockyer goes in behind them. Reed plays it off his legs. Boy, they got lucky there. That is remarkable that Reed could play at the ball on a poor pass and keep it in the in-goal area and force Boyd to take it out of play.
It was great work there by Corey Parker. Some second phase play, and Darren Lockyer into space, working with his great mate Justin Hodges. Hodges back on the inside to McCulloch, and then the cover from Jamie Soward was able to stop the momentum, and it was a slow play the ball which allowed the Dragons to regroup. A poor pass from Lockyer, but the reaction from Jack Reed was sensational to keep it on the toe into the in goal, and the Broncos can